Alright guys, so we're going to cover the stock market, which will probably already be open by the time I upload this video, but I do expect some downside as soon as the stock market opens. We're going to cover this ring that we're coming up on in about 12 days. I think it will end up being the ring of death. It's possible we cross it and we go to the moon. If you're bullish or bearish, I do expect that major move to happen when we hit that ring. I will show you that as well. I'm going to give you some short-term targets, the upside and the downside. Again guys, all of my charts, they play out live on all devices, mobile phones, tablets, desktops. You do not need a TradingView account to view these. You just click the link and they play out live. If you do have a TradingView account, which is free, my charts are shareable so you can save them as your own. Do follow me on Twitter. This is where I go to first to keep everyone updated. Also, so the link to my website, opticalartcrypto.com, will be in the description, and also a link to my Twitter account. I put this post up 16 hours ago, so the CME futures was going down. Guys, the CME futures proved to me to be a great indicator to potentially know if price is going to go up or down. It was a couple days ago that the CME was up a bit. As soon as the stock market closed, Bitcoin, the price shot up to meet that target. So I've been using this as an indicator to know if we're going up or down. Guys, all these charts are available on the website. This is the Binance 2.0 2-hour chart. I'll show you that in a sec for some targets. This is a Coinbase weekly chart. This is that ring I was talking about. We're going to hit in about 12 days. And we'll cover the CME futures as well. So for short-term targets, if we push up, there's a lot of resistance here. Again, this is the 15-minute swing trading Binance chart. If we push up, you can see this blue line, this fib channel has been a lot of resistance. So potentially look for resistance at 9,614. If we do push up higher, you can see this red line in this fib channel has been a lot of resistance. So if we push up, potentially 9,911. If we drop, your next support is 9,282. Your next support level below that is 9,052. Below that, 8,935. Again, these are at angles. I'm just giving you an average. And then you have support here at 8,827. Again, this is a 15-minute swing trading chart. This is the 2-hour Binance chart. If we push up, this is that same line in that previous chart. But again, if we push up, look for possible resistance 9,921. If you're a little bit more bullish, we have been getting rejected at this blue ring, so that would potentially be around 10,122. I'm not that bullish. I think we're going down from here. Your next support is 9,269. If we have a more substantial drop, your next strong support is going to be around 8,549. If we're out here, that's roughly 8,500. I do think that's a likely target. That also goes to the Coinbase weekly chart, which I'll show you. This was a video I did on May 10th where I was saying that I was expecting the stock market to start coming down. We were at resistance. I expected when we hit this brown ring it would push us down. This is the Dow Jones chart. You can see this is the ring we were getting resistance. We crossed this brown ring, but we started coming down. You can see since that video on May 10th, we've already come down a total of 6.5%. And you can see we pushed up right to this line, this trend line here. There's been a lot of resistance, a lot of support. Guys, strong support ends up being strong resistance. We stopped right here, so it only makes sense we're coming down from this point. Your next target for the Dow Jones is 22,432. If we drop below that, your next target is 21,631. Pre-market trading data. Again, stock market opens at the time of recording this video in about 4 minutes, so it'll be a while for this video is up. It'll already be open, but it's already down negative 234. People betting on it to go down, so I do expect some more downside. Guys, I did a poll. A lot of these other YouTubers that are bullish, you know, they're talking about that the stock market or the Bitcoin's become detached, decoupled from the stock market. Stock market's going down, Bitcoin's going up. You know, we just had the halving, everyone's super bullish. So I did a poll. I was just curious. I received my stimulus check and my tax refund. So I was curious, other people in the U.S. that have received theirs or going or haven't, or you know, looking to receive them soon, if they put that money into Bitcoin. 21% out of, well, let me see how many people voted so far. So out of 291 votes, 21% have already taken some of their money from their stimulus check or their tax refund and put it into Bitcoin. 14% have not received it yet, but when they do, they'll be putting that into Bitcoin. And 65% are like me, hell no, this price is just pumping to sucker people in before it tanks. But guys, I think this is all just a setup. We're in a global pandemic, a crisis. Stock market is going down. I expect it to go down a lot more. Bitcoin is still pumping. We just had the halving, which is making everyone even more bullish, thinking that Bitcoin is going to continue to go up. While these exchanges and these wells and these institutions know that people are taking this money they're getting from the government and putting it into Bitcoin, so why not pump the price to get people even more bullish? So they put their money into it, and then when it gets to a certain point, they just tank it, and then all these people are going to be kicking themselves because they put their money into something that just, I think they're just going to get robbed blind, guys. I'm bearish because I think that this whole market is manipulated. It's unregulated. It's just here to take retail's money for now anyways. These are longs. You can see longs are stacked. Before we topped out at 10,000, the longs on Binance were like 60 or 70%. But you can see there's more shorts now since we got topped out around 10K. But overall, people are super bullish. They expect this to go up. Just like this poll. Everybody. I mean, people are putting their money into it, expecting this to go up. And I just think it's going to come down, and they're just, like I said, they're going to be kicking themselves. This video I put up May 13th. I was talking about, yes, I did say that it's possible New York Stock Exchange and Bitcoin would crash very soon. I was correct. The stock exchange, the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 did come down. However, Bitcoin did push up, but I did talk about this gap potentially to get filled. I'll play a little clip of this. Down. Keep in mind, we do have one more gap above us. Move up it, cross it. There's been a lot of volatility. You can see we're kind of pushing up now. If you're bullish and you expect this to go higher, I think the highest point it would go would be around 9,830 to fill this gap and then come down. Keep in mind, when I was recording this, my cat wouldn't shut up. I had to throw a pillow at it to keep it from meowing. But again, that's what I was saying. Even though the stock market was going down, Bitcoin price is pushing up, but it pushed up to fill that gap. And actually, when I had that gap, when I had marked off that gap, I was on the daily. So actually, when I did it, I came down from the bottom of this wick. That's why I was saying we potentially push up to 9,820. I should have been on the smaller time frame. Let me see if I go down to the 2 hour here. Actually, the gap was up here around close to 10,000. So you can see we did push up to fill that gap. Again, that's why I was saying 9,800, but had I been on the smaller time frame, I would have given you a target of around 10,000. But again, you can see we did push up, we closed the gap, and now we're coming down. So I do think we're topped out, and from here we're coming down. This is the Bitcoin ring chart, Bitstamp ring chart. There's a lot on this chart here, but we've been respecting this this red ring going back since 13th of May 2019 as resistance and support. We could not make it above this. We made it above it temporarily. We could not make it above it over here. I expect this ring to start pushing us down. There's a lot of charts that show that we're going to be coming down. This here is the Coinbase A chart. You can see that when we hit this ring, we rode down this ring right here at 7,950 is when we had that major drop. We're at this next ring out from this fib circle. I think the same thing's going to play out. I think we're already topped out here. I think we're going to start riding down this ring to put in our bottom. So do pay attention to that. This is a Coinbase weekly chart. Like I said, what happened here, I'm expecting to happen here, and it actually might be more extreme. This is the Coinbase weekly chart. So this is the one I'm talking about. This is what I think we'll have a major pivot at this ring. This is the previous ring right here. You can see that when we crossed this ring, we had a pretty substantial drop. That's when we dropped from 7,900 all the way down to 3,850. This is that next ring out. So again, that's why I think we'll have a substantial either a drop. If you're bullish, you think we're going to the moon and you're waiting for that pump, you know, I think it'll happen at this ring. But again, guys, I think we're coming down. And again, you know, this was a halving here. We're getting resistance here. We look how much support and resistance this trend line, this line, this fib channel has been. All the way back here. You got a lot of support, a lot of resistance. You got support, resistance, support. You know, and then we're finding there's so much resistance right here. I do not see us getting above this. If we do push above it, again, I think it's after we break this point. That's if you're bullish. But I think we're coming down. Our next strong support is going to be around 8,500. Right here where my cursor is at, 8,591. So let's just say 8,600. But again, we're roughly 11 or 12 days before making contact. I do believe that's more likely after we cross. That's when we'll have a drop or potentially have a pump. And keep in mind, you know, if we move sideways, we're about 12 days before making contact. If we're lower, you know, if price drops down here to around 8,600, we're only 9 days before making contact. So that means within 10 to 12 days we could have a drop. If price moves sideways, then it'd be, you know, 14, 15 days before we have a drop. But guys, pay attention to this chart. I do expect a major move when we hit this ring. Again, this is a Coinbase weekly chart. So guys, for the rest of this video, I'm going to let you see how these new 2.0 charts played out, as well as some of the older charts. That's it. Until the next video.
Thank you.